you go by?
Well, I just normally go by Kace.
Kace, okay. This is for me, Kace. Take one. That's what I'm saying. But wait, not yet. We're gonna breathe first.
Yeah, we gotta do the breathe.
Yeah.
Gotta breathe.
Let's do one more. Okay, you got it.
Alright. This is for me, Kace. Take one.
Let's go. Okay, you can put it right here.
Yeah, after I did it, I was like, I don't know where to put this.
Is this good, Teddy? Is it okay if I put it here? Alright, so I'm feeling a little nervous because I just, I have had a busy day. But I'm really excited to have you here. Before we get started, I love to just... Oh, I'm tripping. How y'all doing? I'm Nia Rose, and this is for me. Today we have a lovely guest, King Kace, aka Ronnie.
You already know what's up.
Okay, so I love to just start my guest off giving them their flowers. And I first want to give a shout out to your homies, Carlton, Daryl, even Taylor. Kept calling me up and they're like, Nia, get Ronnie on the show. And this has been for a couple months now until finally Taylor, my own sister, called me and she was like, I think you should consider having Ronnie. And that's my soulmate. So I was like, all right, Taylor said so. So we have to get him on. And I wanted to bring that up because I think a lot of people wish they had that support. Mm-hmm. They wish they had people in their corner like that who are rooting for you and advocating for you. So just shout out to the community that you have built, and
definitely,
that's amazing. Let's just get into it. I got to listen to your project Temporality that you released last year.
Mm-hmm. Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir.
So when I was Googling the definition, because I love to Google, the temporality, it meant, ephemeral, transient, temporary, but what did it mean to you? What made you choose that title for your project?
So I chose that title because I was pretty much thinking of like time references when I was like thinking of it, because I was just thinking of like, this is like pretty much just the time of my life where I became an artist. Like that's what the meaning of this project is. So I was just looking for a good representation of that. And when I found the word temporality and I Googled it and it said like pretty much just the time that's yours, like it's just subjective time rather than objective time. And I was like, that's perfect for what I need personally for this project, because it is my time. It's how Kace became a thing. So that was pretty much the entire thought process behind finding that. And I also just like to find words that you can Google and learn a little bit more about something.
Yeah, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. People who are listening to it, like, what is temporality? They're gonna want to explore you more once they hear that. Mm-hmm. And I also saw that you started your own LLC, Sovereign Sounds. Yes, and I'm just loving the titles that you're giving things. And I thought Sovereign Sounds was really beautiful, because I also know that you were a part of a crew, Boys to Love Money, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember when y'all released that project, what was that, 2020?
Yeah, it was about
2020. And Daryl Katoa, he was showing us, and it was just giving this vibe of, just mad at the world and mad at women. But I feel like when you hear Sovereign Sounds, it's this like this divinity and this peace to it. And even when you're hearing this album, there's some there's like healing. Can you talk a little bit about the transition from this like Boys to Love Money to Sovereign Sounds?
Yeah, definitely. So Boys to Love Money, that's just me, my crew, that's just all of us. That's just the name that we came up with, and it's the name that we go by to release music through. And we released, like, as you said, a project in 2020 called We Told You. Mm-hmm. Very fun project, just ignorant energy all over the place. Just, definitely something that you should check out. Maybe got a second one coming soon, just a little heads up. But
okay.
Just a little heads up. But definitely the transition between those two projects was something that was needed, in my opinion, because making We Told You came at a time when I was like kind of doubting myself and really in my head. So I think making that project created the path to temporality to a degree. It made me feel confident enough to make that project and make it in the way that I knew I wanted it to be made in. Yeah. So the piece that comes with that is definitely just knowing a little bit more like my artist sound and how I want it to sound, and just a little bit more about who Kace is on the path of this thing called life, you know?
I love that there was some self-awareness that was built in that, just like creating. And you talked a little bit about path. I know one of your posts, Valentine's Day 2021 was the first time you made money off your music. And you went and got some gas money with it, right? And so I love that because first, transparency. Also just something you're celebrating your wins. Also, you know, Valentine's Day just passed. Can you talk about like what has that path to realizing your dream since, you know, 2021 to now? What has that been like for you?
Well, that was a good question. But it's been fun. Like, it's definitely been a lot of fun because I've just been on this mission of just pretty much trying to make my vision come to life. And it's been kind of rocky along the way because I'm like trying to put certain pieces in place and maybe I don't got the money or I ain't got the people around me to help out. But it's definitely been like fun to just learn how to adapt to everything and just be a little bit more like just adaptable to like my environment and just being able to grow in that and being able to, you know, move forward from 2021 to, you know, I guess just today.
What does that vision look like when you're seeing in your mind, you know, what are you trying to bring into life? Or not trying, what are you working to bring to life?
I'm just trying to build my kingdom, man.
What's your kingdom? Like, paint a picture, you know. I think we're always talking big, you know, like, oh, I have these big dreams, but I think in clarity is how you manifest it for real. Yeah. If you can give like just a little couple details that you see clearly when you're thinking of this vision.
I definitely want to build a fan base, number one. Like, I want people to just, you know, not really support me. I want them to support themselves. Like, that's my whole saying. It's just bet on yourself. I want to be able to help the kid that was who I was, you know, back in 2015 when I was struggling to still find my own way. I want to be able to have that build that support system for someone else that I didn't really feel like I had, or, you know, create a way for them to look at and be like, you know, maybe I'm not alone in this, you know, type thing. So that's definitely number one. And definitely just, you know, of course the normal artist things, just performing, just being able to have fun, being able to have financial freedom. Definitely want that. Just being able to grow as myself pretty much and just, you know, do something that my mother always said I couldn't do and just she didn't say I couldn't make music. She just said that I remember being young and just when she asked me what I wanted to do with my life and I was just like, I just want to have fun. And she said that's not possible. And I was like, well, nowadays it is.
Wow, that is a word. And I love that you are still reaching for that. And, you know, as much as your mom loves you, she's talking from her experience and from her perspective and from the agreement she made in her life. And you're like, I want to make some new agreements. Of course, I'm going to work hard. I'm going to make money and I'm going to be financially free, but I'm going to have fun along the way. And I wish more people like remember that, you know, because this is a video game. This is the Matrix and it's what we make it, you know. So I think that is so beautiful. And, you know, as you were saying, from we told you to temporality, you were able to have more clarity in who you are and what kind of music that you wanted to make. And you're, you know, being more grounded. If you could just stand in front of, you know, the world or the music execs and, you know, what would you want to tell them or let them know to, you know, give you that opportunity or the connections that you need? What do you feel like you would want to tell them?
I would definitely just want to tell them that, hey, like, I know I may not make the sound that's popular today, but at the end of the day, I make good music. I make music that matters. I make music that has a message because I'm really trying to heal people who I can, like heal who I can for real. Just be there for the kids, be there for the ones who may not know their path. And, you know, at the end of the day, I also still, on the side, as we talked about, make the little ignorant music, but it's all just
but that's important.
Fun.
That's human.
It's just good fun. It's just the balance of life.
And you have that balance of just, you know, the romance and also talking about solitude, loss. You know, what do you feel like was some of the hardest lyrics for you to write?
Definitely, like, on temporality specifically, just the entire song of Once Again, because that was a song dedicated to my friend Chris, who passed away just when we was in high school. And definitely, I wrote that song in 2017, and I didn't
Wow.
change a single thing about it. I just re-recorded it, and even recording it, it was just like, man, this is hard.
Yeah.
So definitely writing that song was pretty much the hardest thing ever.
Did that feel like healing, performing that and recording that, or what was that process like from pen to paper to the studio?
Definitely in the moment of writing it was very just hard, and like even just thinking about it back in 2017, it was just difficult, definitely. But I think recording it now and like just listening to it these days, it's definitely a sense of healing. It's definitely a sense of just being able to look back on that moment and like kind of look at it more in a positive light and remember just what I said on the song, that like I'm glad that you are in heaven now, and I will see you when I get there.
Yeah, and with this song, he's immortalized. You know what I'm saying? Like, you will always have him in your heart. People who are listening to this will have his memory. And so I love that you honored him in that way. I went to the same high school as you, and I remember hearing about that, and it was just super tragic. And I think the importance of art is creating that beauty from tragic moments like that. That's one of the important things. So, and you talk about that too, like from contemplating dark thoughts and using your art, your dreams to fuel you to go forward. And so that is all you can do sometimes. When you feel like you can do nothing, you just share your art, and then that like revitalizes you. So I love that you did that. Do you feel like there's anything that you would want to tell him whenever you think of him now?
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot of things, just from goofy things like, man, you wouldn't believe the way Call of Duty has evolved now to like serious things like, yo, I'm really living my dream, and like I would really wish to see where he would have been like if he was like still with us, of course.
Yeah. And, talk about dreams. You get to work with your friends. There's a saying, like, I only want to work with my friends. You're doing that now. You're in the studio with Katoa. Wheeler, he's producing some things, engineering some things. What has been one of those, like, most memorable moments creating with your friends?
Definitely, like, when I think memorable moment, the first moment that comes to my mind is just when we were at Wheeler's house, like you said.
Yeah.
And me and Daryl were just playing around, listening to beats that Wheeler was playing, and then he played this one that was like a sample of Erykah Badu or something like that. And then Daryl just went in there and started rapping, and then he just said this word, "oh wow," and I was like, what does that mean? What are you talking about here? And he was like, oh, I don't know, I just made it up. And then I went in there and was like, all right, I'm gonna copy you. And I said it, and then we kind of made like a little back and forth song, and I was like, yo, this is a fun idea, and we're gonna expand upon this.
Yes.
And we did. And it's coming soon.
It's coming soon. I was just about to say, I want to hear more Katoa music. He'll send us some like singles here and there. I'm like, we need a whole Katoa project, so you need to let him know.
What are you trying to tell him, man? I be trying to tell him that he can sing.
He can sing, yes.
He just don't believe in himself sometimes, but it's okay. I get it. I was there, so I understand.
Yeah, your music, I feel, tell me if I'm wrong, has some Saba, J. Cole influences.
Yeah.
Who do you feel like are some artists that represent you now? You know what I'm saying?
Definitely Saba and J. Cole. Those are definitely two. I would also say Isaiah Rashad. I would also say maybe a Shmino, like a hint of Shmino in there.
Who just cut his hair!
I didn't even know that. I need to look that up after this.
Yes.
That's crazy, because he was definitely like, when I had hair, he was my hair goal. I was
Not when I had hair.
Like, he was my hair goal.
R.I.P. hair.
Yeah, R.I.P. hair, man. That's not the reason why I wear the hat. The hat is part of the brand.
No, I got you. Oh, tell me about the brand.
I mean, well, not this particular hat, but like, I'm just saying, like,
part of your brand.
Every time I go out, that's just what I wear.
Understood. And I feel like, you, from your music, it just feels like you've been really intentional, One of my favorite songs was Peace. As heartbreaking and like hard as it was, I just felt like it was so real. Can you talk a little bit about where you were at mentally when you were writing that?
So that's another song that I actually wrote. I wrote a version of it probably like 2017, 2016, like around there. that I'm just gonna call like 15, 16 because those were the two most impactful years in my life, pretty much. And that's what that song's about.
Yeah.
But now I kind of updated it, revised it, and it was definitely one of them songs that I look back on and I was like, yeah, I'm very glad I made that because that song in itself is the journey of how I became Kace to a degree.
Yeah.
It's just like the story of, me getting kicked out of school and then, dealing with being homeschooled and being all in my head and just different things of that nature. And then just kind of like finding myself within that, in that solitude within myself. It was definitely like a tough song to write, but it was one that was needed in my opinion. And even like when I was recording it, I was in my head like, man, I'm kind of going crazy right now.
You were feeling like some resistance as you were playing it, or what do you mean going crazy?
I was like going crazy, like I just felt like I was doing a really good job. Like I was really in my move. I was in my mode. I was like,
positive way.
Yeah, I was like in my mode. I was in my bag. I was like, I'm just like, I feel it with this song. This song feels like the one for me personally.
I was feeling the same. It just felt so raw and vulnerable, and it just, resonated with me. You're talking about real life things. You're talking about loss. You're talking about, not knowing what to do next. And I just thought it was so beautiful. What do you feel like are some like healing or self-care like activities you do in this process as you're going through, that transition as you discussed?
Definitely just relying on music. That's personally what I do. Like I listen to a lot of Logic. That's pretty much the person who inspired me.
Even today? Logic today too?
Not so much today, but like back then I was heavy into him and like it really like kind of brought me down to earth to a degree, and it made me kind of be like, okay, things are gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Like in a world where it felt everything was dark, that was kind of my light.
Yeah.
That lit my path to a degree.
Yeah.
So it was definitely listening to Logic and just kind of meditating, and also of course praying, just talking to God and trying to figure out where should I go next, because I felt like I never knew, but then I just kept feeling him pull me towards music, and I was like, that's not really something that I would have chose, but okay.
Yeah, I think that's so beautiful, and I'm glad that you listened. And I'm glad that you said that, because I think a lot of people, success is when you get to Drake's level, or when you're getting to the arenas, but there's so many other types of success, whether your song is in a show or whether somebody just buys your song, something like that. What do you feel like success looks like for you?
That's a great question, solely because like this year in particular, I told myself I was like not gonna focus so much on the results, like the big goals and trying to shoot for Drake's level, because it's like I gotta appreciate the little things that happened before then, because even when it's like just someone commenting on my TikTok or something like that, or I get a new follower, it's like that stuff does matter. It's like it's kind of like a snowball. The snowball don't start off huge. You gotta start with a little one. So.
And you successfully, written, created, recorded, and released a whole project. You know what I'm saying? A beautiful one. Might I add, what advice would you give to somebody else who wanted to do the same? Like, what tips would you give them? Like, here's what you need to do to get this finished product.
Definitely just, I actually say listen to other people, because that's how you gain some form of inspiration. And also just like lock in your own thoughts and figure out what you want to talk about, because everyone can talk about getting money. Everyone can talk about getting, whoever and whatever, but it's like no one can tell your story type thing. So it's like I always personally say just be realistic with yourself and just, be you. Don't be Drake, don't be Lil Wayne, be you.
Was there ever a moment where you weren't being authentic to yourself?
Yes.
What did that look like, or how were you able to get out of that habit?
I just had to like stop trying to make a hit to a degree. Like I think when I put out certain songs and they didn't do what I personally thought they were gonna do, I was like, okay, I need to stop chasing this and just believe in myself. And also when I put out a song called Blind, it was like just kind of my thoughts and my feelings about how I felt during the pandemic and all of that. And when I seen that actually gain traction, I was like, So I put out this whole project of ignorant songs that like people in my mind would love, and that didn't do nothing. But then I put out this real song, and then next thing you know, people like, oh my god, this song is so good, X, Y, and Z, and I'm getting all these random people messaging me talking about, so that song is beautiful, and I'm just like, I need to be myself.
Yeah.
Why am I trying to chase this? Like, and that's when I kind of was on my path to just being me rather than chasing that.
I got you. Okay, so we're gonna do one more song, and then we're gonna do We're gonna do one more question, and then we're gonna do lightning round. Okay.
Got you.
So, like me, you are PG County raised. What's it like, being from the best county in the world? How's that shaped you?
I mean, being from PG, you already know best county.
Pretty girl.
And of course, yeah, being from PG is definitely I feel like a lot of it has put me on the path that I'm on to a degree, because I never felt like I was really in the crowd of PG, and people kind of pushed me out of it. So I guess it, to a degree,
Really?
yeah,
You felt out like an outcast.
yeah, to a degree, it pushed me to where I'm at, because like it was always people treating me like I was different. So I was like, all right, cool, then I'm gonna just be different. But then at the same time, a lot of the things that they treated me differently for are now popular, and that kind of irritates me. But we're not gonna talk about it.
What are some things that are popular now, like anime?
Like anime and video games and stuff like that. People treated me weird because I knew Mario and Luigi. I'm like, don't we all? Like, what are you talking about?
You were ahead of your time, so now you're the cool kid.
Yeah, now technically I am the cool guy. It doesn't matter now.
All right, bet. All right, so we're gonna do lightning round. So you just do like short, brief answers, okay?
Bet.
First one: when you wake up, what's the first thing you think of?
Jesus.
Okay. Eminem has Slim Shady. Nicki Minaj has Roman. What is your alter ego's name?
Lil Nig.
Lil Nig.
Lil Nig.
Okay. Who's your favorite artist coming out of DMV right now?
Ooh. Probably, I would say Exit 23.
Okay. You putting me on. I don't know what that is. I gotta look them up after. All right, so it's New York Fashion Week. Which designer fit are you gonna go on stage with?
Probably, probably some Off-White.
Some Off-White?
Something like Off-White. I do like Off-White.
Okay,
Off-White.
all right. Last one. Finish the phrase. Kace is...
The GOAT? No. Kace is someone who bets on himself.
I love that. Thank you so much, Kace, for being here. Let them know where they can find you, what's coming up next.
Alright, so you already know, man. Y'all can find me at King Kace, KINGKXCE, on pretty much Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. King Kace spelled correctly, so King KINGKACE on YouTube for the music videos. I'm about to be dropping some music videos for Temporality soon for like pretty much most of the songs. Got, like I said earlier, We Told You Twice coming soon. And, maybe some other little singles along the way. You know what I'm saying? And also, my website, sovereignsoundscode.com. Spelled correctly. There's no misspellings.
Awesome. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'm Nia Rose, and this is for me. Stay tuned for our episode next week. We are on Spotify, y'all. Be sure to listen. We are on YouTube. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Peace.
Out.
Woo! Okay, so we're gonna take a picture.